few weeks ago, I did a review of the new Wouxun KG-UV9G LITE radio. If you haven't seen that video already, there's a link to it right there. Today, I'm going to be going over the even newer Wouxun UV9G Pro. They're very similar radios. The Pro is a slight upgrade to the LITE version. I also want to go over some of the things I've learned after using the radio for a bit longer since my previous review. As with most of my videos, I will keep this video short and to the point. I'll try not to wander off on a tangent, which I've been known to do, because I know that you like to pretend that you got a lot of very important things to do. I know that your time is very valuable, and I would never waste it like some of those other YouTubers do with stupid fancy intros and graphics and fancy music, begging you to subscribe. I'm not desperate. I don't care if you subscribe or not. I know that your time is valuable. I would never dream of wasting it. So my friends at bettersaferadio.com sent me a new Wouxun KG-UV9G Pro. They didn't send it to me for a review, although I got it. I'm doing a review because I promised I would when I did the review of the LITE version a few weeks ago. They sent it to me as a giveaway in an upcoming off-roading event that we're going to be doing, hopefully in just the next few weeks. If you're in the Southern California area, if you're a beginning off-roader and you'd like to join us, see that link there to sign up, put your email address in, and as soon as we publish that event and make it public, we'll send you an email. It's absolutely free to join. Feel free to come along. So, got my new Wouxun KG-UV9G Pro GMRS, fully FCC Part 95E compliant GMRS radio. That means you do need a GMRS license to transmit on this radio. If you're just going to listen, you don't need a license. If you do not yet have your GMRS license, current cost is $70 for 10 years. They will be dropping the price to $35. Despite what you see people posting on comments that it's going to happen on April 19th of 2021, they don't know that. That's when the change goes into effect. That doesn't mean that the FCC website will be updated and able to collect the lower fees on that date. We'll see. Soon, we know that soon, the price will be lowered to $35. If you're not sure how to get your FCC license, it's just like buying a fishing license, only complicated and more difficult because of the stupid FCC website. I've put together a step-by-step instruction sheet on how to get your FCC license. It's right there, complete with pictures and everything, step-by-step, how to buy your GMRS license. I'm not going to do an unboxing because we all know that unboxing videos are stupid wastes of time, but I am going to show you what's in the box so you have an idea of what you're going to get if you get the Wouxun KG-UV9G Pro GMRS radio. Now, I've already gone through this because I tested the radio. I tried my best to pack it back up. Probably failed miserably. But you'll get a instruction manual. You will get a charger. You will get a belt clip for fixing the radio to your belt and running around looking important. Power adapter that plugs into the charger. Dual band GMRS antenna. A large battery. Handsome and sexy hand strap. Some little screws to connect your belt clip to the radio. And of course, the reason you're here, the Wouxun KG-UV9G Pro GMRS handheld walkie-talkie radio. I'm also using the Smiley 5/8 wave antenna. This is what I've been using. It's a little shorter than the stock antenna. The stock antenna is a GMRS antenna, so it is tuned to be used with the radio. But the Smiley antenna is a little bit better quality, and it's just a smaller antenna, so it doesn't poke me in the eye quite as easily. KG-UV9G cost $169 from bettersaferadio.com. That does not include the Smiley antenna. I'll put a link to both the antenna and the radio affiliate links below. But the higher gain antenna costs, it's a 5/8 wave antenna. It costs $23, $24. As I mentioned, this is the Pro version, KG-UV9G. I don't think they're going to continue with the LITE version. That's just my guess. I don't know for sure. The KG-UV9G Pro is really a customized version of the Wouxun KG-UV9P and KG-UV9D Plus, which is a ham radio. They've customized it to make it a GMRS radio. Those radios have been around for a while. They've got a proven track record, so it doesn't suffer from first generation issues because it's been around for a while. Now, the radios that this is based on, those ham radios are able to output up to 10 watts. So the circuitry in the KG-UV9G Pro is able to handle up to 10 watts. It doesn't transmit that high. That means because it's only transmitting at 5 or 5.5 watts, the circuitry should last longer. It shouldn't overheat as much because it's designed to have a higher output. 3,200 milliamp hour battery, larger than any of the other radios I've reviewed. Means it's going to last for several days, a long time if you're just listening. Of course, if you're transmitting a lot, it's going to suck it down a lot further, but that larger battery is going to last quite a while. I got a couple of days out of mine just listening and scanning to stations. It's got a lot of power-saving features. You see the screen has just gone off. That's designed to save power. You can customize all of those options. So what I really want to do is just quickly go over some of the features that I didn't talk about in the previous review, or maybe didn't talk about them as much as I should have. It has the super heterodyne circuitry, so that has a squelch that works. Some people have asked what that means, because I mentioned that several times in all of the Wouxun radios. The super het or super heterodyne circuitry, a classic style, a real radio circuit. On the cheaper radios, some of the Baofangs and BTECs and the the cheaper radios have an SoC or an entire radio on a chip. They're much cheaper to make, but the circuitry isn't as good. It means it doesn't receive as well. But the thing that matters most to me is that in a lot of those cheaper radios, particularly the Baofangs, the squelch just does not work. It sort of works. The squelch is what you use to cut out the static that you hear. If you have one of those Baofeng radios, you may notice that sometimes no matter how high you set that squelch, you're still getting static. So it's got you see 2 channels. You can listen to 2 different channels at the same time, and it's got dual push-to-talk buttons. So if you want to talk to somebody on the top channel, you hit the top button. You want to talk to somebody on the bottom channel, you hit the bottom button. You can also, while you're scanning, scan through 2 different ranges and 2 different bands of frequencies. So it's like having 2 different radios in one. Now, if you're a simpleton like me and listening and talking to 2 different people on 2 different frequencies, like you're having 2 different radios in your hands at the same time, confuses you, you can easily turn that off just by hitting one button. So now I've got only one channel that I'm able to transmit on or listen to. I can turn that back on very easily just by hitting that one button. I can switch between the 2 just by hitting that band button. You see the little indicator there says that now if I push to talk, I'm going to be talking on that channel or that lower frequency. And if I hit it again, now I'm at the top. When I push to talk, I will be talking on that one, unless I use the other push to talk button. So the main push to talk button will transmit on the top. See the little red transmit indicator. And the other one, which is up here, the second push to talk, will transmit on the other. And that's customizable as well. Now, as I mentioned in the other review, this is a 7-band receiver, so it can receive a lot more than many of the other radios. It can receive pretty much anything on UHF or VHF, including the AM air bands. I still say I don't think any of the other radios can receive AM airband. The battery, that 3,200 milliamp battery, even though you do need the charger to charge it, they sell an optional cable so that you can charge it via the charger on USB. So it doesn't have direct USB charging, but you can charge it via USB with just a different adapter that they sell at bettersaferadio.com. Big question that a lot of people asked on the previous review was, does it do split tones? Yes, it does do CT-CSS and DCS split tones. So what I want to do now, I got my handy dandy power tester. This is both a power and SWR tester. I'm not going to test the SWR on the antennas because I have found, I've tested the SWR in previous videos on handheld radios, and I was a moron. You can't really easily and accurately test the SWR on a handheld radio without jumping through a bunch of hoops. It's possible. It's too difficult. So we're not even going to do that. So I'm going to put a link to this tester below. This is really good for testing SWR on your mobile radio or power on your mobile or handheld radio. It's about $40. Affiliate link below. So let's just hook it up here real quick. Now this tester, when you buy it, it comes with this little dummy load. I don't know if you can see that. That dummy load, so that I'm not transmitting out on the air, gives you a better test result for the power. That's only good for up to 5 watts. And you got to be careful with it because it gets really hot, because it turns the RF energy into heat energy, and heat energy hurts when you touch it. So I'm going to go into the menu and set it to high power. And one of the things I didn't complain about, but I mentioned in the previous review, is that the screen and everything is overwhelming. But as I've used it more and I'm understanding what I'm seeing now, it's actually pretty intuitive. And because it's high resolution screen, it's easier to understand. So I'm going to go into the menu, find the transmit setting, transmit right there. You can see the tiny little L there. Select that, it's at low. Before you try changing the power to high, make sure you're on a channel that's allowed to legally transmit at high power. The radio knows the FCC rules. If you're not allowed to transmit at high power on a channel and you try to change it to high power, it won't let you. It's smarter than I am. All right, so I'm going to go in, I'm change to channel 18. Menu, I was already there on transmit. Hit menu again. All right, so now we're at high. Now let's give it a try. All right, so GMRS channel 18 was 4.7 watts. Let's go to channel 22. 4.8 watts, 4.7 watts. And let's try repeater frequency. 4.6, 4.7 watts. So power output is right where it should be. 3/4 of a watt won't make any real difference other than saving your battery and making it last longer. I mentioned it in the other review, but because this radio comes with all the SHTF programming, really to use it, all you need to do is put the antenna on, turn it on, and dial up one of the channels. It's preloaded out of the box with everything. Repeater channels, emergency channels, agencies. It's got 876 pre-programmed receive frequencies that you can scan through. So for a prepper or in emergencies, it's ready to go out of the box. It's also pre-programmed with the travel tone, which is a common tone on many repeaters, open repeaters, for repeater channel 20. So right out of the box, ready to go with the repeater tone. Same range as all the other radios I've tested, same range as all the other high power radios that I've tested, same range as the light version. Worst case scenario, just over 1 mile. I didn't see a huge difference with the different antenna. I am able to hit repeaters. My favorite 2 repeaters, one at 30 miles away and one at 69 miles away from my couch, using both the stock antenna and the Smiley antenna. Now, if you're using the Wouxun software, the programming software, you can set it up to do quite a bit more. You do need a Windows PC for that. I have a Mac. But using the software, you can program different banks or groups to scan through or transmit on. So you could use it, for example, if you're traveling across the country, You could look up what repeaters you're going to be going through, what area you're going to be going through, and set up a different group for all those repeaters in that area and just scroll through your different groups for different states or areas, and have them all pre-stored in the radio. So there you go, $169 from bettersaferadio.com. Affiliate link below. One other thing that I didn't mention, and this will matter to a lot of people. Even though the Wouxun radio itself is manufactured in China, there's only one distributor of this particular radio in the United States. And when you buy this radio through him, you're supporting that local Southern California, actually he's right down the road from me, local US small business. A lot of people complain, I'll never use a radio made in China or made in Japan. Well, good luck finding a radio. But when you buy this radio, you are supporting a local US small business. If you have questions about this radio or about GMRS in general, leave a comment below. I will do my best to answer all of the questions. If I can't answer it, somebody else will come along and answer it, or they'll try to. They'll probably get it wrong. Stupid comments and dickhead comments will be pinned to the top for everybody to marvel at. So before you post something stupid, think twice. So don't get all offended if you say something stupid and I point out that you're stupid. Thank you for watching. We hope to see you on the trail.